In this video, we are going to discuss about the role of Empress Theodora in Byzantine Empire. Again, the strategical importance of Constantinople is discussed in the form of exam question. Next, we are going to discuss about the historical importance of Byzantine Empire and also the historical significance of Battle of Tours 732 AD is going to be discussed in this video, and the others are also well discussed with detailed explanation in the form of entrance exam. So don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video. Hello, akkam jirtu barattoota nagaa keessanii guyyaa kaleessaa gaaffilee 14 barnoota histirii kutaa 11ffaa boqonnaa 4 keessaatii karaa adda ta'een qabadhee isiniif dhiyaachuun koo ni yaadatama. Har'as immoo akkasuma gaaffilee adda ta'anii fi qormaata keessan intiraansii akkasumas faayinaalii itti fufees qormaata moodelaa barattoota kutaa 12ffaadhaa fi biiroon barnoota Oromiyaa qopheessee qoruudhaaf deemu keessatti isin fayyada gaaffileen jedhu baay'ee isin qopheessuu danda'an gaaffii 14 har'as qabadhee dhiyaadheera. Kanaaf wabii 17 official tube waliin ta'uudhaan qayyabannaa keessan fiixeedhaan akka geessan afeerraa keenya yeroo maraa ta'uu isin yaadachiisuun barbaada. Question number 1. What role did Empress Theodora play in Byzantine Empire? Gaheen mootittiin Theodora Empire Byzantine keessatti taphattee kan ta'e kanneen armaan gadii keessaa kami? A. She ruled independently without Justinian. B. She influenced policy and co-ruled with Justinian. C. She opposed imperial authority. D. She led military campaign. The main role of Empress Theodora in Byzantine Empire was that she influenced policy and co-ruled with Justinian and advised the influenced decision and challenged the emperor. The answer is B. Why A is not the answer? Because she ruled jointly with Justinian, not independently ruled without Justinian. C is also not the answer because she strengthened imperial authority. Rather, she opposed the imperial authority. D is also not the answer because her influence was political, not military. Question number 2. Which territory was reconquered by Justinian first during the expansion of Byzantine Empire? Yeroo babal'ina Empire Byzantine'itti daangaan mooticha Justinian tokkoffaadhaan weerarame kami? A. Britain. B. Gaul. C. Italy. D. Germany. Justinian conquered Italy from the Ostrogoths. So, Italy was reconquered by Justinian first during the expansion of the Byzantine Empire. Why A is not the answer? Because Byzantine was no longer Roman. And also, B is not the answer because Gaul remained under the Franks, not under the Roman. D is also not the answer because Germany was never reclaimed. Question number 3. Which economic activity characterized the majority of Byzantine people? Kanneen armaan gaditti eeraman keessaa diinagdee kamiin hawaasni Byzantine ittiin beekama? A. Large scale manufacturing. B. Maritime pricing. C. Subsistence farming and herding. D. Mining gold. In fact, most Byzantines were poor and they were also farmers and herders. As a result, the economic activity that characterizes the majority of Byzantine people were subsistence farming and herding. C is the correct answer. Industry was limited and also not characterized the Byzantine people. Piracy was not a common livelihood for the people. Mining was not also dominant. Question number 4. Why was Constantinople strategically important? Kanneen armaan gadii keessaa barbaachisummaa Constantinople kan ibsu kami? A. It was isolated from trade routes. B. It lacked defensive structures. C. It controlled major land and sea routes. D. It depended entirely on agriculture. Basically, Constantinople is strategically important because it linked Europe and Asia by land and sea. So, it controlled the major land and sea route. Strategical importance of Constantinople. C is the correct answer. Why A is incorrect? Because Constantinople lay on key trade routes. Rather, but it is not isolated. B is also incorrect because Constantinople had strong defensive walls. D is also incorrect because it depended entirely on trade, not agriculture. Question number 5. What was a major consequence of the Great Schism of 1054? Kanneen armaan gaditti eeramanii keessaa bu'aa Schismii mooticha isa guddaa bara 1054 kan ta'e isa kami? A. End of Christianity in Europe. B. Formation of Protestant churches. C. Division into Western Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches. D. Collapse of the Byzantine Empire. The major consequence of the Great Schism of 1054 AD was the division into Western Catholic and Eastern Orthodox Church. Disputes over authority caused the split. So C is the correct answer. Katolikii, Roomaa lixaa fi mana amantaa Ortodoksii bahaatti qooduun isaa caccabiinsa bara Schismii keessa dhufedha jechuudha. End of Christianity in Europe is not the answer because Christianity continued strongly, and also B is incorrect because Protestantism emerged in the 16th century, not during 1054. D is also not the answer because the empire survived for centuries after the Schism of 1054. Question number 6. Why did Emperor Alexis I request military help from Western Europe? Awurooppaa lixaarraa Alexis tokkoffaan gargaarsa raayyaa waraanaa kan inni gaafate maaliif? A. To expand Byzantine territory. B. To defend against Seljuk Turks. C. To overthrow the Pope. D. To spread Orthodox Christianity. Why the Emperor Alexis first request military help from Western Europe was to defend against Seljuk Turks. B is the correct answer. The Seljuk Turks threatened Asia Minor and also the Holy Land. A is not the answer because Byzantine was on the defensive. C is also not the answer because the Pope was not a political rival. Rather, it is religious. D is also not the answer because religious conversion was not the aim. Question number 7. Why did the Crusades fall to save the Byzantine Empire in the long run? Adeemsa dheeraa keessa waraanni Crusades Empire Roomaa oolchuudhaaf maaliif dadhabe? A. Crusades refused to fight. B. Turks were never defeated. C. Internal weakness and continued Turkish expansion. D. The empire regained full strength. No. The internal decline and the Turkish pressure continued causes why the Crusades failed to save the Byzantine Empire in the long run. Dadhabina waloo waraanni Crusade qabuu fi waraana Turkish babal'achuun Empire Byzantinein hanga dhumaatti baraaruu hin dandeenye jechuudha. So C is the correct answer. Here, Crusaders did fight initially, but not refused to fight. A is not the answer as a result. B, some victories were occurred. Turkish were never defeated, it says no. D, the empire kept shrinking, rather regained full strength. Question number 8. Which statement best summarizes the historical importance of the Byzantine Empire? Kanneen armaan gaditti eeraman keessaa barbaachisummaa Empire Byzantine sirriitti kan ibsu isa kan. A. It isolated Europe from ancient knowledge. No. B. It destroyed Roman traditions. No. It acted as a bridge between ancient and modern civilization. Yes. D. It weakened Christianity. No. The answer is C. Byzantium transmitted classical learning and law. As a result, it is a bridge between the ancient and also the modern civilization. This is the historical importance of Byzantine Empire. Why A is not the answer because knowledge was preserved rather than isolated. B is also not the answer because Roman law and the culture were survived, rather it destroyed. D is also not the answer because Christianity was strengthened rather than weakened. Question number 9. Why was Western Europe once described as the Dark Age after the fall of Western Roman Empire? Kufaatii Roomaa dhiyaa booda Awurooppaan lixaa maaliif Dark Age jedhamtee ibsamuu dandeesse? A. Christianity was abolished. No. B. Trade declined and the towns were abandoned. Yes. C. Science and technology advanced rapidly. No. D. A strong centralized governments emerged. No. So, Roman trade networks collapsed. Towns were declined and the economic life became rural. This causes Western Europe as the Dark Age. Christianity actually expanded during this period, so A is not the answer. Even scientific and cultural progress slowed rather than advanced, so C is also not the answer. Political authority became fragmented, not centralized. Question number 10. Why do modern historians reject the idea that the Middle Ages were completely dark? Yaaddidama bara gidduu galeessaadhaan Dark Age jedhu qorattoonni seenaa maaliif haqan? A. Due to the Europe was ruled by powerful emperors. No. B. Due to the Roman culture completely disappeared. No. C. Due to the new civilization blended Greco-Roman, Germanic, and the Christian traditions. Yes, C is the correct answer because the new civilization mixes together Greco-Roman, Germanic, and the Christian traditions. Qaroominni ammayyaa qaroomina Greco-Romaanota, Germanii fi barmaatilee Kiristiyaanummaa keessa jiru iddoo tokkotti cuunfee wal makee kan qabu waan ta'eedhaafidha. Answer is C. Medieval civilization emerged from the cultural blending. Political power was weak and decentralized, so A is not the answer. Roman law, administration, and learning was survived, not disappeared. D is also not the answer because Europe interacted with the Islamic world and the Byzantine. Question number 11. Which Germanic kingdom was established in Gaul, which is known as modern France? Mootii Germanii isa kamtuu Gaul yookiin France ammayyaa keessatti hundeeffame? A. Ostrogoths. B. Visigoths. C. Franks. D. Saxons. The Franks established a strong kingdom in Gaul, so C is the correct answer. Why A is not the answer? Because Ostrogoths ruled mainly in Italy, not in France. Visigoths ruled Spain, not France. Saxons settled mainly in England, not in France. Question number 12. Why was the Battle of Tours 732 AD historically significant. Dirreen waraanaa Tuur jedhamu bara 732tti gaggeeffame seenaa keessatti maaliif barbaachisaa ta'edha? A. It destroyed the Byzantine Empire. No. B. It stopped Muslim expansion into Western Europe. Yes. C. It ended feudalism. No. D. It unified Europe politically. No. Here, the Charles Martel defeated Muslim forces and advancing from Spain in the Battle of Tours during 732 AD. This helps to stop the Muslim expansion into Western Europe. Egaa babal'ina weerara musliimotaa dhaabsisuudhaaf jecha dirree waraanaa Tuur jedhamutti mootichi Charles Martel jedhamu waraana gaggeesseen moo'icha fidedha jechuudha. So B is the correct answer. Why A is not the answer? Because Byzantium was unaffected. And also feudalism developed later. Rather, C says that it ended feudalism. No. D, Europe remained politically divided. But D says that what? It unified. No. There is no unification of Europe politically during this time. Question number 13. Which achievement is most associated with Charlemagne? Milkaa'ina armaan gadii keessa Charlemagne'dhaan kan wal qabatu kami? A. Ending serfdom. B. Establishing the first democracy. C. Reviving Roman-style administration and learning. D. Abolishing the church's power. Basically, the Charlemagne copied Roman administration and promoted lateral learning. So, reviving Roman-style administration and learning is most associated with the achievement of Charlemagne. A is incorrect because serfdom continued. B is also incorrect because medieval governments were not democratic. D is also incorrect. Why? Because Charlemagne worked closely with the church, rather abolishing the church. Question number 14. Why did Pope Leo crown Charlemagne emperor in 800 AD? Sababoota armaan gaditti eeramanii keessaa sababni inni Pope Leo sadaffaan Emperor Charlemagne'dhaan muudama kenneefi maali? A. To weaken the Byzantine Empire. No. B. To reward him for spreading Christianity and protecting the church. Yes. Charlemagne amantaa kiristaanaadhaa fi eegumsaa fi babal'ina keessatti eegumsa isaa cimsee akka itti fufuudhaaf jecha Phaaphaasiin Leo jedhamu muudama gonfoo bara 800tti kenneefi jechuudha. C is not the answer because abolishing German kingship is not the major activity of Charlemagne, and also not to create republic. As a result, as I have said earlier, Charlemagne defended Christianity and supported the Pope. These are all about today's lesson. Gaaffii fi yaada yoo qabaattan karaa komentii akkana beeksistan isiniin jecha viidiyoo keenya har'aa asumarratti goolabuun barbaada. Viidiyoo biraatiin hanga walitti deebinutti nagaan naa tura.